All right, it's Thursday, January 18th. Just bought some Coinbase, 137 puts at 825. This is into next week. This is a little bit of a longer term play for me. This is the 15-minute chart. First of all, I'm disappointed because I was actually watching this one for a sell, and I was watching this shooter bar forming, and I was going to sell on, if we broke down here around 134. And then I was doing some other things, and when I came back, I saw I missed it. So on this little pause up in here, I decided to buy the puts anyway, even though it's like 2 points lower. In the big picture, this is kind of an inside bar failure where we kind of came out, took out the highs. We're getting through the halfway point of that bar, so I expect us to get to the lower point of that bar, which is 129.41. That could happen today. In the big picture, this is the weekly chart that's now in a downtrend that came down and took out this pivot, but it clearly, it had an opportunity after taking out the pivot to kind of rally up there, and that's what for a day it, a little green, then an inside day, then a little move up, but now we're red again. So it shows we're not really bouncing off this pivot, which shows we have the pivot machine gun to head a lot lower on this stock. If we kind of have this, if we get the outside day to the downside and then reach our target down here, that kind of almost triggers this monthly chart of a 2-down month. Which can then work its way into this fair value gap all the way to the 110 area. So there's a lot of downward pressure on this. And then after this kind of little pausing action with the inside day failure, I think even though I'm in a couple of points late, that we're going to get, by the end of the week into next week, we could take out these lows. And if that happens, then the monthly chart, starts working us down to this pivot machine gun. So I see a lot of potential to the downside here. Here's obviously the next target if we break down more like with the 120 area. So we're starting to head lower now. Let's see if we get to the lows of the day. Let's see if we take out the lows of yesterday, which is that inside bar failure. And then let's see if this overall downtrend that started, builds a next leg down, into some of these areas down here into next week. So I think it should end up being a good trade. Like I said, the ideal thing would have been taking out these stops here and seeing this failure bar. That would have been the first time to buy the puts. Now, I still think with the potential in play and the downward action, underway, that it's not too bad getting in a little late, and we'll just see how it closes the day. And like I said, in the big picture, I think we have a lot of potential to move lower on this one. So after, push down, this is kind of just a little pause in here, could get a whole nother leg down. So we'll see what develops here by the end of the day and into next week.